Hey y'all, it's Rick here with Uncommon Communion, and I'm getting started on this early tonight, about 3 hours earlier than the one I recorded last night. Now, you may be wondering about my attire, this safety orange with property of 2018. After the prayer, I will explain. Let's begin as we always begin by recognizing, realizing, celebrating, and affirming that we are always and everywhere in the holy presence of God and each other. So, I had the day off on Friday, y'all, which was very nice. I have had some busy teaching weeks. Now, I'm not a teacher, I'm a trainer, but I do face to face teaching slash training. And the last weeks have been very busy. This week, I only had one day that I had to teach. One day I was a student. That would be Tuesday. So I thought I'd take Friday off. And it was very nice to do that today. I did two significant things that I really did enjoy. And I'm going to share some photos of each of those in my post for tomorrow, for Saturday. Now, I'm going to do my Saturday post a little bit differently. I am not going to do the music members only, subscribers, paid subscribers only post like I usually do on Saturdays. I'm going to instead do the post that I would have done for today in my regular format. I will do that for Saturday, for tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. Look for that tomorrow morning. What did I do today? Well, my day was not as eventful as T Rump's day. And I got to say this, y'all, not a lot of politics talk tonight. I'm going to keep it away from that, except when I talk about the orange shirt. Now, the orange man, the orange baby man, who apparently had some trouble on the red carpet, and that was a red carpet that he welcomed the war criminal on, and he didn't get what he wanted today. Quite remarkable. And Alaska was not given back to the Russians. I joke about that, but the Russians would like it back. There is territorial nationalism that apparently is quite strong in Russia, and the symbolism of a Russian leader and his entourage going to Alaska was not lost on the hard right, the Russian people. So the good news is that Donald Trump didn't give away Alaska. Apparently, he also didn't give away Ukraine. So that was good. And remarkable that the press conference afterwards, I don't know if you saw this, but it was 15 minutes long and neither of them took questions. Probably because the questions that would have been asked would have been pretty ugly and brutal. And they got out of town after that, apparently cutting it shorter than they had planned to. So I think overall, it was definitely a spectacle, definitely something that T Rump did to end the week. Remember, it was this week, this 5-day week, that he sent the National Guard and other agencies into DC. That was on Monday, brought the war criminal to Alaska on Friday. God knows what he will do next week, but it is all to distract from the Trump, Epstein, Maxwell files. All right, well, orange shirt. Before the orange shirt, I want to talk to you about the first thing I did today. And again, look for photos of both of these. Today, I went for a hike. And I went for a hike to a special little park. And it is actually a side piece of a metro park that we have here in Columbus. They call it the 100-Acre Wood. It's also called Blendon Ravines. And it is this nice little slice of the woods that nobody really goes to because it's official. It has a map, it has a name, it's part of a metro park, but it is not on the beaten path. It's not hard to find, but you have to know where to look for it. There aren't any signs. Any of you all who are locals, here in Columbus who want to know how to find it, let me know, hit me up. I will, share the secret. But it's a nice little lovely park, and I had it to myself today. I did not see a single other person. Now, granted, it was a Friday afternoon that I was there. Nevertheless, I had it to myself, and it was really a nice little walk up and down hills, fairly scenic. It's the kind of park that I want to get to know. And by that, I mean hike more often. When I was in high school, I was thinking back to this today, and I think this was quite remarkable actually for a 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old like I was, very social, wanting to, stay active. But I think even then, I know that I had a spiritual side, a deeper side that was seeking connection in nature. And right behind the house that I went to high school from, and my parents still live in, they just passed 40 years of living in this house, pretty amazing. There's a beautiful range of hills, probably 800 feet, less than 1,000 feet, but it's a ridge, and there is just spectacular hiking back there. And I remember doing that, not every day, not all the time, but doing it enough as a teen that it was meaningful. And I have some very strong memories of just powerful spiritual experiences back there in the hills, in the ridge. So I want to get to know this park, this 100-acre wood, in a similar way. So it's close to my home. I can go and hike it and have it to myself. And today was a good start. It was a very good start. So the orange shirt. I went to a protest today, and it was the first of this kind that I've been to. It was on a bridge, a pathway, a trail, a pedestrian bridge over Interstate I-71, which, if you're not familiar with Central Ohio or Ohio in general, it's the interstate that connects Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati at kind of a diagonal across the state. And it was on top of an overpass. I've never really spent much time on one of these pedestrian bridges. It was a little bit disconcerting. There was a little bit of anxiety that I felt when I was up there, because when trucks pass, the whole thing vibrates underneath, from underneath. And we had signs, and I was waving a flag, and I had a little twirly, and was wearing not just this orange shirt, but also like an orange safety vest that I used to walk at night. And it was pretty amazing. The theme of this was free DC. And on both sides of the facing each direction, I was on the southbound direction. So I was facing north, and folks were on the other side. There was probably less than a dozen of us, but, a nice little group. And they had letters of, the 6 letters free DC, each on, large poster board. And they had bungee corded that to the fence, because, there was a fence and, kind of arced over us a little bit. But I didn't have a sign. I just had my little banners, and was waving wildly with my other hand. And it was pretty amazing, because you can make eye contact with people. People can make eye contact with you as they are going 60 miles, 75 miles, 70 miles underneath this bridge. And, some people, many people waved. There were thumbs up. People, raised their fists. There were also middle fingers. A number of them, definitely less than, the gestures of support, especially if you included the honking. Many people, were honking as they were going under. But it was really remarkable to make eye contact and to, see somebody with a thumbs up and to give them a peace sign or a thumbs up, back. I also did learn that the universal sign for a truck to honk the horn, do the air horn, remember this, when you were in a kid on the school bus, still works. And quite a few trucks did that. So I'll share a photo or two, but it was really quite something. And I don't know that I would do it again. It wasn't super pleasant because, the fumes and the heat and the noise. And looking through the fence kind of got me a little bit, like I said, disconcerted. So discombobulated, I guess is probably the better word. But nevertheless, it was a way to speak, a way to connect, a way to be visible, especially wearing a visible shirt like this. So, saving the best for last, what is it the property of? Well, it's the property of Bishop Hartley Summer Gym. I taught there a few years ago and oversaw the summer gym program, and we got these bright orange shirts, which was pretty cool. All right, y'all. So I want to close with a prayer today. The prayer that is the one I'm going to share with you is from the Centering Prayers book. Before that, though, just a quick word. Today is an important day in the history of the Ignatians, which is the Jesuit order. Today, I'm checking my year here. I didn't jot this down, but today in 1534, so just short of 500 years ago, a while ago, the St. Ignatius of Loyola and 6 companions made private vows to join in the service of the Lord. Now, the order would not be officially founded until 1541, so a few years later, 7 years later, but they had already made this vow and already were seeing themselves as a society. Society of Jesus, SJ, is their letters. So a special day in the Ignatian world. And for me personally, as I have been so deeply influenced by Ignatian spirituality. But the prayer I want to read is from the Centering Prayers book. Here we are, living and loving God. I wish to live in the mystery of Christ, not just know or speak about it. I wish for your Spirit to take a hold of my life and liberate me from my fears, anxieties, demands, and desires. I wish to make Christ alive in me through relationships, respect, and self-giving. Lord, I wish to live at the growing tip of transformation, so as to no longer be the person I have always been, but to become the person you have destined me to be in Christ. I've started again taking lines from a short, sentence or two from these prayers and praying those with a beads prayer. And I did that today and hope to do it tomorrow and hope to do it the next day, which is, how streaks get going. But that's what I prayed today. Lord, I wish to live at the growing tip of transformation, so as to no longer be the person I have always been, but to become the person you have destined me to be in Christ. May you, my friends, my planetary pilgrim companions, on whatever way you follow, may you be on the growing tip of transformation to allow the numinous Christ, God, however you understand, the more, to transform you into the person you are called to become. Blessing and good, be gentle, be well.